My phone wouldn't stop vibrating. I stood in the bridal suite, veil pinned perfectly, watching notifications flood my screen. 57. 83. 112. My hands shook as I unlocked the phone and saw Vanessa Whitmore's name everywhere. My sister-in-law had posted a thread that morning, my wedding morning, accusing me of staging my proposal, faking sponsor deals, and manipulating her brother Caleb into marrying me. Screenshots filled my feed. Voice notes I'd supposedly sent. Text messages twisted into something ugly. "Charlotte, you need to see this," my maid of honor whispered. The post had gone viral. Thousands of shares. Comments from strangers who knew nothing except Vanessa's carefully crafted lies. My bridesmaids stood frozen in champagne dresses, phones in hand, whispering. The makeup artist pretended to organize her brushes. The photographer stepped outside. Everyone felt the shift, celebration curdling into something toxic. The door opened. Caleb walked in, still in suit pants and white shirt, tie loose. His face looked confused, not defensive. Not angry on my behalf. Just confused. "Charlotte, we need to talk." My phone buzzed. A new notification. Local lifestyle reporter requesting comment on allegations. "Is there any truth to this?" Caleb asked. Those 6 words cut deeper than anything Vanessa had posted. Not, "This is ridiculous," or "We'll fix this together." Just a question implying doubt. "You're asking me that?" My voice stayed steadier than I felt. "You're actually asking if I faked our entire relationship?" He ran his hand through his hair. "I'm trying to understand." Vanessa showed me screenshots. Screenshots can be edited, Caleb. But they look real. The timestamps, the conversations. That I never sent. My chest tightened. "Your sister is lying and you're asking if maybe she's telling the truth." My phone rang. The livestream sponsor. I declined, but another came immediately. Then a text. "Need to discuss contract terms given recent allegations." Caleb's phone buzzed too. "The vendors are freaking out. The photographer wants to know if we're still doing this." I didn't stage anything. My voice rose. "Caleb, we got engaged because you proposed. You chose the ring." "I know, but..." My phone buzzed again. "Elena Torres, we think there's more to this story." I called Elena Torres back an hour later. Caleb had left to think. My bridesmaids scattered. My mother tried calming vendors downstairs. My father sat in the lobby staring at his phone in shock. I was alone, still wearing my veil, when Elena answered. "Charlotte Bennett?" "Yes. You said you had questions." "I do. But not the ones you're expecting. I've been looking at Vanessa's screenshots. They don't look right." My heart pounded. "What do you mean?" "I've worked in media for 12 years. The timestamps don't match the metadata. The text formatting is inconsistent. Some messages reference events in the wrong chronological order." I sat down. "You're saying they're fake?" "I'm saying they appear manipulated. Before I run any story, I want your side. Your original conversations, actual contracts, real evidence. Because if Vanessa's lying, that's the story I'm covering." Relief flooded through me. Someone believed me. Someone was actually investigating. "Why are you being so careful?" Elena paused. "Because someone sent me an anonymous tip about you 3 weeks ago." 3 weeks ago? I repeated. "Before the wedding?" "Yes. Someone sent a detailed email claiming you were planning to fake a wedding crisis for publicity. They included supposed evidence." My stomach turned. "Who?" "Anonymous, but the writing style matched Vanessa's posts. I investigated that tip. I contacted your sponsors, previous employers, college roommates. Nobody had anything negative to say. Everyone described you as professional and honest. So you knew this was coming?" "I knew someone was planning something. I just didn't know it would be this public." Elena's voice grew serious. "Charlotte, this wasn't impulsive. Vanessa pitched this story to multiple outlets before your wedding. I have emails from colleagues asking if I'd seen the bride exposed pitch. This was planned sabotage." I felt cold. She's been planning this for weeks? At least. And here's what should really concern you. One colleague forwarded me Vanessa's original pitch email. Someone else was CC'd. Who? Diane Whitmore. Caleb's mother. The room spun. I gripped the vanity, staring at my reflection. Perfect makeup, elegant veil, designer dress. Everything beautiful on the surface while underneath, my fiancé's family had been working to destroy me. She knew, I whispered. I found Diane in the hotel's sitting room, sipping tea like this was normal. Charlotte dear, how are you holding up with all this drama? You knew. I closed the door. You were CC'd on Vanessa's emails. You knew she was planning to accuse me publicly on my wedding day. Diane set down her teacup. I don't know what you're talking about. The journalist showed me. Your address was right there. You and Vanessa coordinated this. Her mask slipped slightly. I simply wanted transparency before my son made a permanent mistake. A mistake. Charlotte, you come from a different world. Your career as an influencer, it's not what the Whitmore family represents. We have standards. When Caleb brought you home, you started bringing sponsors into our family events, treating our lives like content. I documented our engagement because we were happy. The sponsors came after. That's your perspective. From mine, you've been calculating. Do you know how many questions you've asked about our family assets? Then I remembered. 6 months ago, Diane had asked detailed questions about my sponsorship contracts. How much I made, how the deals worked. I thought she was being supportive. Now I realized she was gathering ammunition. Back in the suite, I compared Vanessa's screenshots to my actual conversations with Caleb. Nicole, my bridesmaid who worked in tech, leaned over my shoulder. Look, I said. She claims I texted, the ring needs to be at least 2 carats for the sponsorship deal. But here's the actual conversation. I said, I don't care about the ring size, I care about you. Nicole zoomed in. The font is different. See how the letters are compressed. That's text replacement. We went through screenshot after screenshot. Vanessa had carefully edited each one, taking real conversations and replacing my words with something manipulative. She's good at this, Nicole muttered. Most people wouldn't notice. But you did. Because I know what to look for. And I can prove it. She pulled out her phone. Every image has metadata. When it was created, what device, what software. If Vanessa edited these, that information is embedded. She downloaded Vanessa's images and ran them through forensic analysis. Numbers filled the screen. There, Nicole pointed. This screenshot was created last week. But the conversation it shows is from 3 months ago. And it was edited using photo manipulation software. Can you prove all this? I can document everything. But Charlotte, you need to decide how to use this. Why would Vanessa do this? I asked. That's when my phone rang. My father. Charlotte, I just spoke with Harrison Whitmore. Do you know anything about their family business struggling? What? No. The Whitmore Development Group has been hemorrhaging money. Harrison was hoping your wedding would bring publicity to help rebrand the company. Everything clicked. The elaborate venue. The large guest list. Diane's interest in my sponsorships. They hadn't been planning a wedding, they'd been planning a marketing campaign. And Vanessa? Her fiancé applied for a business loan with the Whitmore Bank. Caleb denied it. Vanessa's been furious for months. Financial motive. This wasn't just jealousy. Vanessa's future was tied to her fiancé's business, and when Caleb blocked funding, she decided to punish him by destroying his wedding. There's something else. Caleb lent Vanessa $50,000 last month. Secretly. Diane co-signed. He what? Caleb had given his sister money, a massive amount without telling me, while we budgeted together supposedly building a partnership. How many other secrets had he kept? I found Caleb in the lobby with his groomsmen. Can we talk? Privately. We went to an empty conference room. I closed the door and faced him. Do you believe me? He blinked. What? Simple question. Do you believe I faked our relationship, staged our proposal, and manipulated you for sponsorship money? Yes or no? Charlotte, it's not that simple. Yes or no? I'm overwhelmed. There's so much happening. That's not an answer. My voice stayed calm but my hands shook. After 3 years, you can't give me a simple yes or no. I'm trying to be fair to everyone. Fair to everyone? Your sister destroyed my reputation and you're worried about being fair to her? She's family, Charlotte. And I was supposed to become family in 3 hours. My phone buzzed. The livestream sponsor, pulling out of coverage, cannot be associated with fraud allegations. I showed Caleb. There goes $15,000. What's that supposed to mean? Did you know your mother was CC'd on Vanessa's emails? That they planned this together? And when were you planning to tell me about the $50,000 you lent Vanessa? His face went pale. Instead of canceling, I made a decision that surprised everyone. I called Elena Torres. How quickly can you set up an interview? What kind? Live. Public. Today. I want to tell my side before Vanessa's lies become permanent. Elena was quiet. That's bold. Once you go public, there's no taking it back. I'm sure. But I need hours to gather proof. How much proof do you have? Screenshots, metadata analysis, witness testimony, financial records showing motive. Plus the original emails planning this attack. That's solid. I can set up 6 p.m. That gives you 5 hours. Perfect. And Elena? I want to postpone the ceremony, but I'm not canceling the venue. I'm going to use it. I called the wedding coordinator. Tell vendors we're having technical issues and delaying until this evening. But keep everything set up. For what? A press conference. My maid of honor stared. Charlotte, what are you doing? Fighting back. Vanessa wanted to destroy me publicly? Fine. We'll do this publicly. But on my terms with truth. Nicole grinned. You're going to war in a wedding dress. Damn right. I started texting every bridesmaid, every vendor, everyone who'd known me long enough to know Vanessa was lying. I need statements. I need proof. Everything we can gather in 5 hours. My phone buzzed. Anonymous message. I worked with Vanessa in college. She did this before. The message came from an unknown account, but the profile showed a young woman in professional attire. My name is Jessica Huang. I was Vanessa's roommate at Stanford. She fabricated a harassment story against a professor who gave her A/B, edited emails, manipulated screenshots, got students to corroborate lies. The professor nearly lost tenure. I have documentation. My hands trembled. Why are you telling me? Because I saw her post about you. I recognized the pattern. And I've been waiting for years for someone to expose her. I saved everything. Emails, chat logs, the original unedited screenshots. I can send you everything. Please. Send it all. Within minutes, my email filled with files. PDFs of disciplinary hearings. Screenshots showing Vanessa's editing process. Even a video of Vanessa bragging about taking down the professor. I forwarded everything to Elena. Her response, holy shit. This is a pattern. I spent the next hour researching. Old forum posts from Vanessa's college years. Stories about her exposing people. A former friend who distanced herself after Vanessa faked theft evidence. Every story followed the same pattern. She's a professional, Nicole said. This is what she does. My phone rang. Unknown number. Charlotte Bennett? Yes. My name is Amy Preston. I was engaged to Vanessa's fiancé before her. She destroyed my reputation to get him. I have proof. Amy lived in Seattle now, but she'd been following the wedding drama online. She wanted my fiancé, so she created a narrative that I was cheating. Photoshopped me into compromising situations, sent them anonymously, then discovered them with him. By the time I figured it out, he'd ended our engagement. Did you ever prove it? I tried, but everyone believed her version. I lost friends, my social standing, the man I loved. Vanessa married him 6 months later. And he still doesn't know? He knows now. We reconnected last year and I showed him evidence. He was devastated. They're still engaged, but it's a disaster. He stays because he's embarrassed. Will you go on record? Amy hesitated. If I do this, she'll come after me again. She's already coming after me. And she'll keep doing this until someone stops her. You don't have to do this alone. There are others. Others. I looked at my growing file. Jessica from college. Amy from Seattle. 3 other women who'd sent messages, all with similar stories and documentation. We can stop her together. But I need you to be brave one more time. Amy was quiet. Hey, I'll do it. What do you need? My phone buzzed. Voice memo from Sophie. Charlotte, you need to hear this. I recorded something at the rehearsal dinner. Sophie had been filming behind-the-scenes moments, cute clips from my wedding video. But she'd accidentally left her phone recording when she set it down near Vanessa's table. The audio was muffled but clear. Vanessa's voice. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful. Charlotte's going to wake up thinking it's her special day and then, boom. Everything crashes down. Another woman laughed. Diane Whitmore. Are you sure the timing will work? I've already scheduled the posts. 7 a.m. right when she's getting ready. The media contacts are primed. By the time she walks down the aisle, if she makes it, everyone will know the truth about who she really is. What if Caleb doesn't believe you? He will. I've shown him just enough screenshots to plant doubt. That's all it takes. Once that seed is there, it grows. Diane's voice dropped. And the business benefit? Once the wedding implodes, the Whitmore name will be everywhere. We control the narrative. Position the family as victims of Charlotte's manipulation. Sympathy press, redemption story, perfect rebranding for the company. You're brilliant. I learned from the best, Mom. The recording ended. I sat in stunned silence. They'd planned everything. Not just accusations but the entire aftermath. Weaponized my wedding day, turned my relationship into a publicity stunt. Sophie was pale. I didn't realize what I'd recorded until this morning. Does anyone else have this? Just you. I looked at the time. 3 hours until the interview. I'm going to let the world hear exactly who Vanessa Whitmore is. At 6 p.m. I sat across from Elena Torres in the hotel ballroom, the room where I should have been celebrating. Instead it was filled with cameras, lights, media equipment. I'd changed into a simple navy dress. Professional. Composed. My makeup perfect, hair pulled back. Nothing like the hysterical bride Vanessa expected. Elena smiled. Ready. Ready. The camera light turned red. We were live. Elena began. Good evening. I'm Elena Torres with Charlotte Bennett, whose wedding was disrupted by serious allegations from her sister-in-law, Vanessa Whitmore. Charlotte, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to respond. Let's address this directly. Vanessa claims you staged your proposal for sponsorship money. Your response. It's completely false. I pulled out my laptop. Here are the actual text messages between Caleb and me from the day he proposed. We discussed ring preferences, but I specifically said I didn't care about size or cost. I cared about the meaning. I showed the side-by-side comparison. My real messages next to Vanessa's edited versions. Vanessa altered these screenshots. She took real conversations and changed my words to make me sound manipulative. But the metadata tells a different story. Elena leaned forward. You have metadata? My friend Nicole, who works in digital forensics, analyzed every screenshot Vanessa posted. They were all edited using photo manipulation software. The timestamps were preserved, but the content was changed. We can prove it. I showed the technical analysis. The numbers. The evidence. The internet exploded. Comments flooded the livestream. People screenshotting, sharing, turning the tide. Then Vanessa posted her counter video. Vanessa's tearful video appeared while I was still live. She sat in her living room, mascara running, looking devastated. I can't believe Charlotte is doing this. I tried to protect my brother and now she's bullying me, attacking my character. He has so much power, so many followers. I'm just one person trying to tell the truth. The video went viral immediately. Thousands of shares. Comments split between believers and skeptics. Elena showed me during a break. She's good. She's practiced, I corrected. This is what she does. Turn it around, play victim, make everyone forget she started this. Are you worried? No. Because evidence doesn't care about tears. When we went live again, Elena addressed Vanessa's video. Your sister-in-law posted a response claiming you're bullying her. How do you respond? With facts. Vanessa claims I have power, but she's the one who coordinated a media campaign against me. She contacted multiple outlets before my wedding, pitching this story. She planned this attack for weeks. That's not protection, that's premeditation. I showed the emails Vanessa sent to journalists. The CC to Diane. The timeline. This wasn't a worried sister. This was a calculated attempt to destroy my reputation and salvage her family's business interests. Comments shifted. People analyzing Vanessa's video, finding inconsistencies, comparing her emotional display to my hard evidence. Then a digital forensics blogger posted a thread analyzing the screenshots. Frame by frame. Pixel by pixel. Proving manipulation beyond doubt. The tide was turning. The blogger's thread went viral faster than Vanessa's accusations. Within an hour, 50,000 shares. Major outlets picked it up. Tech websites analyzed the methodology. Digital experts confirmed findings. Vanessa's screenshots were fake. Provably, demonstrably fake. The blogger identified the specific software Vanessa used. A program designed for creating realistic text message screenshots for pranks. The metadata showed files created on Vanessa's laptop model, exported at specific times matching her workflow. She was meticulous, the blogger wrote, but not meticulous enough. Every digital action leaves a trace. Caleb called during the break. Charlotte, I'm watching. I had no idea. You had doubt, I interrupted. When Vanessa showed you screenshots, you doubted me. I was confused. You should have trusted me. After 3 years, you should have known I wouldn't do what she accused. Silence. I see it now. The evidence, the manipulation. I understand what Vanessa did. Do you understand what you did? Charlotte. You gave your sister $50,000 without telling me. Kept secrets about your family's finances. When she attacked me, you hesitated to defend me. Those aren't misunderstandings. Those are choices. I'm sorry. I know. But sorry doesn't fix this. I hung up and went back on camera. Charlotte, you've presented compelling evidence these accusations were fabricated. But viewers want to know, why? What would motivate Vanessa? I can't speak to her motivations, but I can share context. I pulled out financial documents. The Whitmore family business has been struggling. My wedding sponsorships and social media presence represented an opportunity to rebrand and gain positive publicity. I continued. When those opportunities disappeared because of Vanessa's accusations, it became clear this wasn't just personal. It was financial. Vanessa's fiancé was denied business funding by the Whitmore Bank. My wedding could have elevated both their social standing and business prospects. Elena's eyes widened. So this was about money? Multiple motives. Personal resentment, financial interests, family pressure. My phone lit up. My father, turn on the news. Diane just gave an interview. I pulled up the site. Diane sat in a studio, perfectly composed in cream. We're deeply concerned about Charlotte's accusations. As a mother, I only want what's best for my son. If I seemed to question Charlotte's motives, it was from protection, not malice. The interviewer pressed, but you were CC'd on emails planning to expose Charlotte. How do you explain that? I received those emails, yes, but I didn't participate in creating them. Vanessa was upset and vented to me. That doesn't make me complicit. Caleb appeared behind his mother. He stepped forward. I think we all need to take responsibility. My family has made mistakes, but so has Charlotte. This has gotten out of hand on both sides. Both sides. As if my presenting evidence was equivalent to their fabrications. Elena muted the television. Do you want to respond? Yes. I looked at the camera. Caleb, I loved you. I planned to spend my life with you. But when your family attacked me, you didn't stand beside me. You stood between us, trying to please everyone. That's not a partnership. Off camera, someone gasped. And Diane, claiming you were just a concerned mother doesn't erase the fact that you knew about Vanessa's plans and did nothing to stop them. During the break, I stepped outside. My hands shook, adrenaline coursing through me. I just publicly ended my relationship on live television. My phone buzzed. Caleb, you took off your ring. I looked down. I hadn't realized. The engagement ring sat in my purse. Charlotte. Elena appeared. You okay? I just destroyed my relationship on camera. You told the truth on camera. There's a difference. Is there? Because right now it feels like I've lost everything. What did you actually lose? Elena asked gently. A man who doubted you? A family that orchestrated your humiliation? A wedding being used for their business interests? I thought about Caleb's hesitation. Diane's calculation. Vanessa's cruelty. When you put it that way. Sometimes losing something you thought you wanted makes room for what you actually deserve. Elena checked her watch. We have one more segment. Ready? What's the segment? Your future. What comes next? How you're reclaiming your narrative. I thought about the contracts I'd signed, sponsors I'd worked with, the platform I'd built. None of that had been fake. My work, my success, my career. All real and mine. Actually, I said slowly, I have an idea. Can you help me make some calls? 30 minutes later I walked back onto set with a new plan. Elena, I have an announcement. I'm transforming today's venue into a charity gala benefiting women entrepreneurs. All vendors agreed to stay. The catering, flowers, music, everything stays. But instead of celebrating a marriage built on doubt and manipulation, we're celebrating something real. Women supporting women. Elena smiled. That's powerful. The sponsors who pulled out can stay gone. I don't need partnerships built on fear. But I've had 3 new brands reach out in the past hour offering support. They believe in what I'm doing, the message I'm sending. I showed the messages. Companies wanting to partner with someone who stood up against manipulation. Organizations offering speaking opportunities about digital defamation. What started as an attack has become an opportunity to speak truth to power. To show women what gaslighting looks like, how to recognize manipulation, and most importantly, how to fight back with evidence and grace. Comments exploded with support. Women sharing stories of being manipulated, gaslit, publicly accused. The conversation shifted from my wedding drama to a larger discussion about digital defamation and female empowerment. So the event tonight, Elena said, is it open to public? It is now. Anyone who wants to attend is welcome. Suggested donation with proceeds going to legal funds for women fighting defamation cases. Because what happened to me happens to women every day. They just usually don't have the platform to fight back. I showed the event page. Hundreds of RSVPs already. Media coverage confirmed. And at the bottom of the guest list I'd added one name. Vanessa Whitmore. You invited your sister-in-law? I want her to see what she tried to destroy. I want her to watch me succeed despite her sabotage. And I want her to face the women she's hurt over the years. Because Jessica would be there. Amy would be there. 2 other women Vanessa had destroyed were flying in. This isn't just about revenge. This is about accountability. The ballroom that should have held my wedding reception instead hosted 200 people. Journalists, sponsors, supporters, and survivors of Vanessa's manipulations. I stood on the small stage in my navy dress, addressing the crowd. Thank you for being here. When I woke up this morning, I expected to be getting married. Instead, I spent the day fighting for my reputation against fabricated accusations. But in doing so, I learned something valuable. Truth is more powerful than lies, evidence is stronger than emotion, and community is everything. The crowd applauded. I saw my parents in front, tears streaming. My bridesmaids together holding phones to record. Journalists taking notes. Sponsors watching carefully. And in the back, by the door, Vanessa Whitmore stood frozen. She'd actually come. I continued my speech, outlining the charity initiative, the partnerships forming, the movement building. I thanked Elena Torres for ethical journalism. I thanked Nicole for technical expertise. I thanked every person who'd reached out. Then I addressed Vanessa directly. To those who tried to destroy me, you failed. You gave me a platform instead. You gave me purpose. You showed me exactly who I don't want to be. Vanessa's face went pale. People turned. Phones came up recording. She pushed toward the stage. You set me up. This whole thing was a trap. No, Vanessa. You set yourself up. I just presented evidence of what you'd already done. Security moved toward her, but I held up my hand. Let her speak. Let everyone hear. Vanessa climbed onto the stage, her face flushed with rage and embarrassment. You planned this. The interview, the evidence, all of it. You wanted to humiliate me. I wanted to tell the truth. You're the one who planned humiliation. For weeks. In emails. In coordination with your mother. I pulled out my phone and connected it to the ballroom sound system. Would you like to hear exactly how you planned it? Her face went white. What are you? I pressed play on Sophie's recording. Vanessa's voice filled the room. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful. Charlotte's going to wake up thinking it's her special day, and then, boom. Everything crashes down. Diane's laughter echoed through the speakers. The room went silent. 200 people heard Vanessa planning my destruction, heard Diane complicit, heard them discussing the business benefit of destroying my wedding. When it ended, Vanessa stood frozen, every eye on her. You recorded me, she whispered. My bridesmaid accidentally recorded you filming behind-the-scenes moments. You chose to plan your attack in a public space. You chose to brag. Those were your choices. Someone shouted, "Is this real?" "Every word," I confirmed. "I have the original file, the metadata, witness testimony. Everything is documented." A reporter raised their hand. "Vanessa, do you have a response?" Vanessa's jaw worked silently. Then she turned on me. "You think you're so perfect. You think you're the victim. But you manipulated my entire family. By loving your brother? By building a successful career? By having sponsorship deals you envied. You're not one of us. You never were. We have standards, traditions. And I have evidence, metadata, witness statements, a pattern of behavior going back years." That's when Amy Preston stood up from the audience. "My name is Amy Preston," she said clearly. "Vanessa Whitmore destroyed my engagement 3 years ago using the exact same tactics. She fabricated evidence, manipulated screenshots, convinced my fiancé I was cheating. I lost everything because no one believed me when I said she was lying." Jessica Huang stood next. "I was Vanessa's college roommate. She fabricated harassment allegations against a professor who gave her A.B. I have documentation proving she edited emails and screenshots. The professor nearly lost her career." One by one, other women stood. 7 in total. Each with a story. Each with evidence. Each a victim of Vanessa's calculated manipulations. Journalists' cameras swung between them and Vanessa, who stood on stage looking trapped. "This is insane," Vanessa said. "You're all lying." "We all have documentation," I interrupted. "And we're all considering legal action for defamation. Together." A vendor stepped forward. The florist, a woman in her 50s. "Vanessa Whitmore approached me 2 weeks ago and offered me $2,000 to deliberately delay the wedding flowers. She wanted to create chaos. I declined and reported it to Charlotte yesterday." Gasps rippled through the crowd. "Anyone else?" I asked. The photographer raised her hand. "She offered me money to lose the memory cards. I also declined." 2 more vendors came forward with similar stories. Vanessa had tried to sabotage the wedding from multiple angles, buying cooperation, creating failure points, ensuring maximum disaster. The evidence was overwhelming. The witnesses were credible. The pattern was undeniable. Caleb pushed through the crowd, his face devastated. He looked at his sister with something approaching horror. "Vanessa, what have you done?" "I was protecting you," she shouted. "No. You were using me. You've been manipulating this family for years." He turned to his mother, who stood near the back looking small and defeated. "Did you know about all of this?" Diane said nothing. Caleb walked onto the stage and stood beside me, though not quite close enough to touch. He addressed the crowd, his voice shaking. "I need to apologize publicly. Charlotte, I doubted you when I should have trusted you. I hesitated when I should have defended you. I let my family manipulate both of us, and I'm sorry." The room was silent. Cameras captured every moment. "I know I don't deserve it, but I'm asking you to forgive me. To give me another chance. He pulled out a small box. "To continue the ceremony. Let me prove I choose you over everything else." He opened the box. My engagement ring. People held their breath, waiting for my response. This was the romantic moment, the reconciliation, the happy ending everyone wanted. I looked at Caleb. At the ring. At the hope in his eyes. And I said the hardest thing I'd ever said. I deserve someone who never hesitates. The room erupted in gasps and murmurs. "Caleb, I loved you. Part of me still does. But when your sister attacked me, you didn't stand beside me. You stood in the middle trying to please everyone. You kept secrets about your family's finances, about the loan to Vanessa, about their problems with my career. Those weren't mistakes. Those were choices that showed me where your true loyalties lie. I can change. You can. But not for me. Not in this relationship. Because I'll always wonder if you'll hesitate again. I'll always question whether you're keeping secrets. And that's not a marriage, that's a prison." Tears streamed down his face. "So this is it? We're done. I'm canceling the marriage. But not the celebration." I turned to the crowd. "Everything we contracted, everything we planned, everything we built. I'm keeping it. The sponsorships that remained loyal, the media exposure, the platform. It's all mine." I looked at the cameras. "And I'm using it. I'm announcing a new initiative, the Truth Project. A nonprofit dedicated to helping victims of digital defamation fight back. We'll provide legal resources, forensic analysis, and media training to anyone being destroyed by fabricated evidence online. The crowd erupted in applause. Caleb stood frozen on stage, ring box still open as I moved forward without him. I've already secured initial funding from 3 major sponsors. We have lawyers volunteering their time, tech experts offering forensic services. And most importantly, we have survivors ready to share their stories and help others. Elena Torres stood holding up her phone. Charlotte, you're trending nationally. Hashtag The Truth Project is already viral. You have requests for interviews from major networks. I'll take them. All of them. Because this message needs to reach as many people as possible. You don't have to accept manipulation. You don't have to be gaslit. You can fight back with evidence, with truth, with community. I looked at Vanessa still on stage, looking smaller by the second. You tried to make me the villain of my own story. Instead, you made me the hero of someone else's. Vanessa fled. She pushed through the crowd and out the door, Diane following behind her. No dramatic confrontation. No final words. Just defeat. Caleb stood there another moment, then quietly left the stage. He didn't follow his family. He didn't approach me. He just walked out and I let him go. The party continued. Music played. People danced. Sponsors took photos. Journalists interviewed the women who'd shared their stories. What should have been my wedding reception became the launch of something bigger than any marriage could have been. My phone buzzed with messages. Book deals. Speaking opportunities. A documentary production company wanted to tell the full story. I looked at it all and smiled. 2 weeks later, Vanessa's social media accounts were gone. Deleted. Her reputation in Portland was destroyed. Friends distanced themselves. The engagement to her fiancé ended when he finally learned the truth about Amy Preston. Diane faced backlash in her social circles. The audio recording of her laughing about destroying my wedding had been shared thousands of times. Women who'd once envied her standing now saw her as cruel and calculating. Invitations dried up. Board positions quietly ended. The Whitmore family name, which they'd tried to elevate through my wedding, was instead associated with manipulation and lies. Caleb moved out of the family home. He sent me one final message. I'm going to therapy. I'm working on understanding how I let my family manipulate me and why I couldn't defend you the way you deserved. I'm not asking you to wait for me. I'm just telling you I understand now. I never responded. The Truth Project launched officially with a gala that drew national media attention. We had 50 cases in our first week. Women who'd been destroyed by fake screenshots, manipulated evidence, orchestrated campaigns of lies. We provided forensic analysis that proved manipulation, legal support that fought defamation, media training that helped victims tell their stories. And I was offered something I never expected, a documentary deal about digital defamation in the social media age. My story would be the centerpiece, but it would include Amy, Jessica, and dozens of other women Vanessa had hurt over the years. Are you sure you want to do this? Elena Torres asked over coffee one morning. It means reliving everything publicly. Again. I'm sure. Because for every woman who comes forward, there are 100 who don't. They suffer in silence, blamed and shamed and destroyed. If my story helps even one of them fight back, it's worth it. Elena smiled. You've changed. I got stronger. Or maybe I just finally understood my own strength. 3 months later, I walked into a television studio for the first interview about the documentary. I wore a sharp blazer, my hair styled professionally, no wedding ring on my finger. The interviewer started with the obvious question. Looking back, do you regret how things unfolded? I regret trusting people who didn't deserve it. I regret not seeing the manipulation sooner. But I don't regret fighting back. I don't regret exposing the truth. And I don't regret walking away from a marriage that would have required me to betray myself. Your ex-fiancé has been quiet publicly. Have you heard from him? He sent a few messages. Apologetic. Reflective. But I'm not interested in revisiting that relationship. I'm focused on the work now. The Truth Project has helped over 300 women in just 3 months. What's next? We're expanding internationally. Partnering with legal organizations in other countries, training forensic analysts, building a database of common manipulation tactics. We want to make it harder for people like Vanessa to destroy lives without consequences. The interview continued, covering the documentary, the nonprofit, my new partnerships with brands that valued authenticity and strength. The conversation shifted from my failed wedding to my successful advocacy. As I left the studio, my phone buzzed. An email from a woman in Australia who'd been destroyed by fabricated evidence. She'd found the Truth Project. She had questions. I sat in my car and responded, connecting her with our legal team, our forensic experts, our community of survivors. This was my purpose now. Not being someone's wife. Not planning the perfect wedding. Not seeking approval from people who'd never respect me. I was helping women reclaim their narratives. Fight back against manipulation. Stand in their truth. The wedding that was meant to destroy me became my launchpad instead. I closed my laptop and spoke into the quiet of my car, testing the words that had become my truth. They tried to make me the villain of my own story. I chose to be the author instead. And for the first time in months I felt complete.